Welcome back to First Chapter Fridays. This is the last one for the year. I hope that you have enjoyed them and that you will go to the virtual library to enjoy all 16 episodes. This week's book is a selection from Epic. It's the 5th book in a series called Growing Up Daisy. This book is great for the holidays. It's called Daisy Has the Holiday Blues. In this book, Daisy is getting excited to celebrate her favorite holiday, Navidad. Please enjoy the first chapter and read the rest on Epic. Holiday Blues by Marcy Peschke. This is book 5 of 6 in the series. You can find this on Epic. Chapter 1. The turkey is gone. Daisy Martinez had turkey enchiladas for lunch again. One more turkey taco, casserole, or sandwich, and she was going to start talking turkey. Really. Gobble, gobble. Thankfully today the turkey would finally be gone. She and her BFF Blanca were on their way to the cafeteria. "Hey Blanca, what's for lunch?" Daisy asked. Blanca replied, "I don't know. It'll be a surprise." This reminded Daisy that with Thanksgiving finally over, everyone would be thinking about Navidad. Daisy loved Navidad. It was always a magical time full of surprises. At the lunch table, Min was opening her lunchbox. She had turkey stir-fry. She and Daisy always seemed to have the same thing for lunch. Min pinched her nose when she smelled the turkey. Deshay walked up with a tray. It had spaghetti, salad, and bread on it. As she sat down, she commented that they only had 3 weeks until winter break. Raymond, who was sitting at the other end of the table, had 2 trays of spaghetti. He liked to eat a lot. He shouted, "Then we get 2 weeks off. No school, no homework. Yes!" Daisy was thinking that meant she only had a few weeks to decide what presents to give her friends and her teacher. Miss Lily was the best teacher in the whole school. The students at Townsend Elementary knew how awesome Miss Lily was. They all wished they could have had her for their teacher, so her gift would have to be the best present ever. Daisy, who usually loved to eat, pushed the turkey enchiladas around in the plastic dish. She was still thinking. Finally, Raymond said, "Are you eating that food? Because if you're not going to eat it, I will." Without looking up, Daisy passed the dish to Raymond. She said, "Sure, go ahead. You can have it. I'm not hungry today." That got Blanca's attention. She asked, "Are you feeling okay? You never pass up lunch." Daisy's motto was, "The meal you're eating right now is the most important meal of the day." She told her friends she just had something on her mind. Deshay argued, "Girl, you're going to be hungry later and you know it." Later that afternoon in room 210, Daisy's stomach growled like a caged lion all through Miss Lily's lesson. Raymond tapped her on the shoulder and passed her a snack bar. It didn't look very tasty. Daisy slipped a few dry bites quietly into her mouth. Everyone was looking in her direction whenever they heard her belly roaring. Hopefully it would be a lot quieter in her corner of the room now. Blanca passed Daisy a note. It said, "What are you eating and where did you get it? Deshay was right. You should have eaten your lunch." Daisy wrote back saying it was Raymond to the rescue with a granola bar and it tasted awful. Blanca read Daisy's reply and tucked the note under her red spiral notebook. That morning, Miss Lily had read a book by Dr. Seuss called The Lorax. In the book, they were cutting down all the trees and making the environment a terrible mess. One little voice kept speaking up and telling them to stop. Now Miss Lily had just given the class an assignment. She wrote it on the board in green ink. Answer this question. What would you change about the world if you can change one thing? Miss Lily said, "You know, superstars, I feel like I change the world every day by teaching each of you. You will have until the bell rings to work on your answer, and it will be due tomorrow." Daisy's stomach growled again. This time it was really loud. It's so embarrassing. She pulled out a piece of paper and her pencil. She began tapping the pencil against her cheek while she was thinking. What would she like to change? Grrr, rumble. Quien puedo ayudar, she thought. Daisy just hated being hungry, but suddenly she knew what to write about. She would write about helping people who did not have enough food to eat. Where did they get food? Daisy had seen advertisements for the food banks and Meals on Wheels on television, so she started a list of the places she knew that people with no food could get free food. Her list included food banks, churches, and Meals on Wheels. Next, Daisy wondered what homeless people ate. They didn't have kitchens to cook in or a place to have food delivered to them. Daisy started tapping her pencil again. Blanca passed another note to Daisy. It said, I want to help animals in an animal shelter. What do you want to change? Daisy wrote in big letters, No more hungry people. Blanca smiled because just then Daisy's tummy made a tiny purring noise. Daisy covered it with her hands and tried not to laugh. It seemed she was not good at skipping meals. It made her a super loud student. No one asked Raymond, but he leaned forward and said, I'm going to plant trees. Blanca rolled her eyes. Raymond was just taking the easy way out. After hearing the story, they all knew that trees were important. Plus, in science class, they learned that trees clean the air and were homes for many animals. Daisy knew Blanca thought Raymond's idea was dumb, but she thought about last year what he did when he did not do his work at all. At least he was doing something. She whispered, Good choice, Raymond. Where are you getting your trees from? Raymond looked confused. He replied, Not sure yet. Blanca giggled. She asked, How about your own yard? Raymond said, My parents wouldn't like that. Then he realized she was teasing him. He turned red like a tomato. Daisy said, You'll think of something, Raymond. Don't worry. Just then the bell rang. Okay, superstars, Miss Lily said. I can't wait to see how you plan to change the world. Don't forget your assignments for tomorrow. Out in the hallway by the lockers, Madison was talking with her friends Lizzie. She complained, Can you believe she read Dr. Seuss to us? We're in 4th grade now. Madison and Lizzie were really popular, but sometimes they acted like really mean girls. Madison didn't like Daisy, and Daisy didn't know why. Most of the time, Daisy tried to be nice, but Blanca couldn't stand Madison. When Daisy overheard, she couldn't help but say, I like Dr. Seuss a lot. Madison said, You would, since you think like a little kid. Daisy ignored Madison's mean comment. She wouldn't have said anything except Miss Lily was her favorite teacher ever, and she couldn't stand hearing Madison say bad things about her. As Madison walked away, Daisy noticed she was wearing colorful rubber wristband bracelets. She had pink, yellow, and green ones on. A month ago, Daisy had started wearing the bracelets, and now all the girls were wearing them. The money for each one helped fight cancer or something else. Seeing them gave Daisy a super fantastic idea. That's the end of the first chapter. Go ahead and log on to Epic and read the rest.